to meet you. I'm Moira Brown. I run Craterside Supply. But what I really do is mostly tinkering and research. Say, I'm working on a book about the wasteland. It'd be great to have the foreword by a vault dweller. Help me out, would you?
Wow, Moira. She has quite the Minnesota accent, don't you know? We're a long way from Minnesota, Moira. Hey, I couldn't help but noticing a Vault 101 vault suit behind the counter. Where'd you get it?
I'm pretty sure I remember a girl coming into town with that about 10, 12 years ago. She didn't know a thing about the wastes, and I knew she'd get herself hurt without some sort of protection. So I offered to armor her vault suit. Never saw her again. Probably died out there, poor thing. In a way, she gave me the idea to write this book. It's yours, if you help.
Your book about the wasteland sounds very interesting. Sure, I'm happy to give you a foreword at the beginning of your book.
Great. Just tell me what it's like to live underground all your life, or to come outside for the first time, or whatever strikes your fancy.
This outside place is amazing. In the main room, I can't even see the ceiling.
Yeah, you wouldn't imagine how hard it is to replace that big light bulb up there, too. That's great for a foreword. Open with a joke and all that. Here, take the suit. Something tells me you might need it.
I was sent as an ambassador from the Utopia of Vault 101. Bow before my glory.
Oh, certainly, Your Majesty. Then consider this armored vault suit to be Megaton's gift to your mighty empire. However, you may consider going incognito. People around here don't always take kindly to monarchy, you know.
How do you people live out here? I haven't found a food dispenser anywhere.
Well, it takes a little more work than that to get food. And good water's even harder. But you'll figure that out soon enough. Here, take the armored suit. It won't help feed you, but it should keep you from being food for anything else. Or anyone else.
It was cramped, dark, and the food sucked. Good riddance.
That's terrible. But it'll be great for a foreword. So in that sense, it's great. I think you're gonna like it out here. And here's the armored suit. Just to make sure you don't get recycled into something else's food.
It was a paradise down there. No fear, no worries, no fighting. Until Dad left.
A runaway dad, huh? I've seen plenty of them before, but none with the big 101 on their back. Good luck finding him. Maybe the armored vault suit will help you out there, huh? That'll be good for the book. In fact, want to help me with the research? I can pay you, and it'll be fun.
Interesting. What sort of pay?
Let's see. Dealing with radiation, testing an experimental device, and, I won't lie, it may include some reading. That sort of stuff, you know? But for all that, I can pay you with caps, meds, chems, maybe even a few of those unique inventions, if you do a good job. Interested?
Sounds good, Moira Brown. Tell me more.
Well, it's a dangerous place out there in the wastes, right? People could really use a compilation of good advice, like a wasteland survival guide. For that, I need an assistant to test my theories. I wouldn't want anyone to get hurt because of a mistake. Nobody's ever happy when that happens. No, then they just yell a lot at me with mean words.
Now, before we go any further, let's talk a little bit about this Wasteland Survival Guide. We can agree to join Moira and become her research assistant. At the very end, when we've helped her write all of the chapters of this book, we will receive a perk based on how well we complete our research and based on our dialogue responses when telling her about the research that we've done. We can always be rude to her. We can always tell her we're not interested. Those dialogue options come up again and again and again. And so I'm not going to cover them all here. That would just get boring. And there are a bunch of options that don't change the outcome of the quest. They just give us lesser rewards. They make the perk that we're going to get later less useful. And on top of all of that, there are other dialogue options we can select that will allow us to still get the best perk, but change it ever so slightly. With this video, I just want to tell the story of this survival guide. I'm going to choose the dialogue options that allow me to move forward and to get the best reward possible. Sounds like a great idea, Moira. Let's get to it.
Good enthusiasm. Now, I think the first chapter will have to be about surviving day-to-day dangers. Things like where it is and isn't safe to find food, the dangers of radiation, and how to avoid and even profit from dangerous landmines. Ooh, sounds like fun, doesn't it? Which do you want to do first?
Oh, getting food doesn't sound too bad. What exactly are you looking for?
Well, food and medicine. Everyone needs them once in a while, right? So they need a good place to find them. There's an old super-duper mart not far from here. I need to know if a place like that still has any food or medicine left in it.
Great, I'll check it out.
Oh, great! Food is most important, but see if you can get medicine too. And if there's nothing to find, then just come back in one piece, okay?
Now that we've agreed to help her with her survival guide, we can find out a little bit more about Moira Brown. Now, she's a bit of a tinkerer, and I'm sure she's noticed the giant undetonated nuclear bomb in the middle of Megaton. Moira, why haven't you tried disarming it yet?
Oh, I couldn't do that. It'd be a real blow to those nice folks in the church. Besides, it's not like that bomb ever hurt anyone. Live and let live, right?
Why do you need me to do this research? Why can't you do it for yourself?
Oh, I haven't got nearly the experience in the wastes that you do. If I tried half of these things, I'd get my head blown off. At least you look like you can really handle yourself out there. All I'm good at is coming up with the ideas and fiddling with junk for caravans.
Oh, you don't want to blow your head off, but my head, that's expendable, okay. You know what, Moira? It sounds like you don't know what you're doing.
I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm trying to help mankind survive and rebuild. It's important, and I need your help. It's a hell of a lot better than wasting my talents with the caravans, repairing cart axles and coming up with new ways to shovel Brahmin crap.
I don't know, Moira. Those caravans sure help a lot of people.
Well, I guess they do bring important supplies here and there. But still, I can help out so much more than the boring old stuff they do. Writing this book will make a huge difference. Trust me.
Now it's here we can pass a speech check to convince her to not work on this book and to instead focus on the caravans.
Well, okay. I guess you're right. It was a silly idea. I'll just stick to doing what's important. Hey, if you're ever around again, stop by. I'll see if I can get you a deal on repairs. I guess.
If you choose this option, you can't complete the quest, but you do get some other stuff. You get a 30% discount from everything at her shop, presumably because she's now negotiating better deals with caravans. Her repair skill increases to 54, allowing her to better repair your gear, and you get the Dream Crusher perk, which reduces an enemy's chance to critically hit you by 50%. Moira also becomes sullen and gloomy.
I get a lot more done now that I'm not working on that book. I guess that's something. And that ought to earn you a discount, huh? Since you kept me from wasting my time on that book, I had a chance to refine my repair process a bit.
She loses that perky personality we're so accustomed to. It's a handy perk, but the perk we get for completing the guide is also really good. So instead, we'll say that this book of hers is sure gonna help a lot of people.
I know, right? I figured instead of just helping out the caravans with odd junk, why not put my brilliant mind to work for everyone? And between my mind and your experience, this guide will save a dozen times more lives than those greedy merchants will.
But enough about work, Moira. Tell me a little bit more about yourself.
Why, I'm an inventor, a tinkerer, and a general genius of junk. One person's junk is another's treasure, you know. And traders bring in lots of junk, so I get dibs on anything particularly nifty. Sure, I don't have as much to sell, but it's more fun this way.
If you deal in junk, you must come across some specialty items every now and then.
Do I ever? I've got the schematics for something called a rocket launcher. I sell all the components too, so you can make the weapon yourself. Don't worry about ammo. This baby shoots all the junk you might find out there in the wasteland. Ashtrays, teddy bears, you name it. In fact, if you ever need to make any custom weapons, feel free to use my workbench here in the shop. All you need is the schematics and parts.
The rocket launcher is a lot of fun, and it's really one of the only reasons to collect junk in this game. We can purchase it from her inventory, but we're getting distracted. There's a whole lot to do here. We need to stay on task. We have been tasked with going to the Super Duper Mart to collect food, and if we can find it, some medication. Thankfully, the Super Duper Mart is actually pretty close to Megaton. Heading east from Megaton will kill a lot of mole rats and even a robo-brain, until at last we come upon the Super Duper Mart. Outside in the parking lot, we are attacked by a group of raiders. Also on the ground here is the corpse of a wastelander. On this wastelander's body is John's key and the wastelander note. Billy, I'm sorry I stole it. You deserve to have it back. Remember the old scrapyard north of the Bethesda ruins? Look in the burned-out bus in the northwest corner, near the old red boxcar. Tell Lorraine that I still love her, and I'm sorry for everything. I hope somebody finds this before the buzzards tear it to pieces. Your loving brother, John. Now, this body, this note, and this key is actually part of a random encounter. We're not always going to find it right outside the Super Duper Mart. Instead, there's a random encounter hotspot here in the parking lot. But I'm going to include it in this video because completing this chapter of the Wastelander Guide is going to take us right by this scrapyard where we can find John's stash. We have indeed arrived at the right location. We see a big, beautiful Super Duper Mart sign standing above this place, and so we head in. As soon as we enter, raiders attack. These raiders have climbed on top of shelves, using plywood and 2x4s as ramps to create a path amongst them. The character is so low level, I don't have very good perks right now. Even though I was wearing T-51 power armor, these raiders were tearing right through me. Thankfully, they melted before me when I used Yingwei's shock sword. The raiders have moved in and made themselves at home. In the bathrooms, we find chems on the floor and even a table on one of the stalls covered with chems and caps. Heading to the western end of the Super Duper Mart, we find some locked ammunition boxes sitting on top of a counter. The wooden planks that they've used to connect all of these shelves makes for an interesting battleground. We don't find much loot over here, just a lot of tin cans. Against the eastern wall, we find a door that leads to a kitchen or stockroom of some sort. We can complete a portion of the quest by opening up one of the refrigerators labeled food storage. Here we find a big stash of Blamco mac and cheese, Instamash, steak, and apples. But there's more to this Super Duper Mart. Let's continue exploring. On a countertop in this area, we find 2 laser pistols with some ammunition. Considering we can reach this place at very low levels, this is a welcome sight indeed. And we notice a ham radio sitting on this counter, but we can't really interact with it. Going through the cash registers, we find a lot of pre-war money, and we can go through a door on the western wall to continue exploring. We see an ominous scene here, a bloody handprint on the door, a big pool of blood on the floor. The hallway opens up to the left with a doorway. Going on through, we see a grisly scene, a dismembered corpse lying, entrails hanging out on a bloody mattress. Oh, there's a slew of ammunition back here. 5.56mm rounds, grenades, and even a copy of Tales of a Junktown Jerky Vendor, which permanently increases barter by 2. Against the western wall, near to a door, we find a locked terminal. No lore here, just the option to disengage the lock on the door. Opening this door, we find a storeroom. But as soon as we enter the storeroom, we hear a voice.
We're back. Somebody open up the... Hang on. Something ain't right here.
Is this voice coming from over that ham radio we found? Well, at my delicate level, I'm not going to risk anything. I see a Protectron charging in this charging dock. Using the terminal next to it, we see that there's a run maintenance routine option. Selecting it activates the Protectron. But before we activate it, we need to make sure to loot the employee key card on top of the terminal. Otherwise, the Protectron will be impossible to discuss.
Loading personality. Robco R04 B9. Office helper. Running default office protocol. Error. Loading daily agenda. Error. Security breach detected. Please stand back.
Heading outside, we see that more raiders have taken up posts on top of the aisles. I pulled out my Gauss rifle to try and snipe some of these guys, but I don't know if it's a problem with the game or just my horrible aim, but it was a nightmare. The raiders stormed this back area area and killed the poor Protectron very quickly. But with them at close melee range, I was able to take out my electric shock sword, which made quick and easy work of them. Back in the storage room, we can loot darts, ammunition, even a mini-nuke, and on the wall, in a container labeled pharmacy supplies, we find a big stack of chems. This completes the optional part of the quest to bring chems back to Moira. Remember, finishing these optional portions of the quest will give us a better perk when all is said and done. In the back of the room, we find a shipment of 3 Nuka-Cola Quantums. These Quantums glow a purpley blue. We learned that this Nuka-Cola Quantum was here when we read the Nuka-Cola shipping manifest at the Nuka-Cola bottling plant. It said that there had been a recent delivery of Nuka-Cola Quantum here at the Super Duper Mart. We need to loot these and not drink them so that we can turn them into Sierra Petrovita at the Nuka-Cola bottling plant to complete the quest, the Nuka-Cola Challenge. Considering that there are only 94 bottles of Nuka-Cola Quantum in the entire game of Fallout 3, aside from those that can be randomly generated from looking inside Nuka-Cola machines, it's important that we do not drink these and we do not put them in a refrigerator. Putting them in a refrigerator back at our player home will turn them into ice-cold Nuka-Cola Quantum, which we can't turn in to complete the quest. So instead, let's store these in a safe place back at home. When done, we can head back to Moira Brown at Megaton to tell her of our success.
So, how's the scabbing been? Got the food and medicine from that Super Duper Mart?
Well, as I said at the beginning, we have dialogue options here that will alter the perk we eventually get. If we pass a speech check to Lie and tell her that we didn't find any food at the Super Duper Mart,
Really? Oh, that's a shame. I guess it was an obvious place for people to get food, so it all got taken long ago, huh? Still, good work checking it out. And have some food, as thanks for the work. It's a shame you didn't find any there.
we get an inferior perk, so we're gonna skip that each time. Instead, we can tell her that we found the food and medicine.
Really? You did? You did! Well, all right. Tell me all about it.
Now, the options we get after this are dependent upon the special stats that we chose for our character. There will be a unique dialogue option for every special stat that is over 7. Standard replies are always available. That's the first one on this list. Consistently choosing standard replies increases our overall HP with the final perk. Snide or snarky replies are also always available. That's the last one on this list. Consistently choosing snide replies gives us a final perk that increases our critical hit chance. And then we'll get unique replies based on our special attributes. We'll get a smart reply, which is based on either intelligence or perception. If we choose this one, the final perk we get increases our science and medicine skill levels. Or we can choose a tough reply, which we'll only see if we have 7 or greater strength or endurance. Consistently choosing the tough response will give us a higher damage resistance with the final perk. And finally, we can choose a sly reply. This only appears if we have high enough charisma or agility. Consistently choosing these speech options gives us a final perk that increases our sneak and speech skills. My intelligence is high, I have access to the smart option, so I'll show you the standard, the snide, and the smart replies. I found raiders and a robot. It was hardly a safe place to scavenge.
Whoa, really? Raiders and robots? I guess I wasn't the only one to think about checking those stores. Looks like you gotta be careful looting them.
The raiders were using the pharmacy as a place to store their best gear.
So you're saying that they acquired a well-protected stash? I wonder how many other places are hiding treasures behind monsters.
I had a fun party with some raiders. Then a guard robot jumped out of a cave.
Well, as long as it was no problem for you then. I mean, who doesn't enjoy cake? Other than robots, of course. I bet they prefer pie. Or maybe pie. Well, keep what you got. Just traded for a big food shipment myself. Here, take a bit, my treat. Tastes kind of, grates after a while. Oh, and take this. It's an old food sanitizer. Just carry it with you, and it should automatically make most food and drink more... better.
What's this about the radiation?
Well, that's what I need your help for, isn't it? I know lots about it from books, but I never seem to get a live example. Not for long, anyway. So I need you to get a bit of radiation poisoning, so I can study its effects. Oh, not a deadly dose, of course. I can fix you up before that.
Now we can pass a science check here to explain the effects of radiation,
Oh, but nothing beats a real-world example. And I have a new rad treatment I was just itching to try out on a live subject. But I guess you're right, and at least it keeps you safe and sound for later testing. Here's some spare chems for your help.
We get some chems, but an inferior perk. So let's go back. Moira, you want me to get irradiated? How could that possibly be worth it for me?
Oh, don't worry so much about it. I'll be here waiting with a nice tall glass of rad-cleansing Brahmin milk for you when you get back. Well, mostly just a whole lot of Rad-X and Rad-Away. And maybe even a more reliable way to get rid of radiation. Assuming it works, of course.
All right, I'll do it.
Oh, you're a peach. Or at least some sort of hardy fruit that grows in the savagely irradiated mockery of agriculture we have nowadays. Now, 200 rads should be enough for basic sickness. But if you can get 600 or more rads, my test will be even more accurate. Just make sure you can get back here, and I'll see to it that you're well taken care of.
By completing the Super Duper Mart portion of the quest, we got the food sanitizer. The food sanitizer does not remove radiation from food. All it does is increase the HP value of food that you consume by 20%. It does come with this fun little note. Congratulations on your purchase of the Tasty Clean Sanitizer. Another household health essential from Braxodyne Chemical. Using your Tasty Clean Sanitizer is simple. Just carry the sanitizer with your food or beverages and our patented Abraxolux Bacto Scour process will remove any trace of bacteria even before you take your first bite or drink. Abraxo's dietary engineers have proven that using the Tasty Clean Sanitizer unlocks additional nutritional health benefits. So enjoy your food again, free of filth and grime. And remember, Abraxo for all your cleaning needs.
Warning, product is not guaranteed to sanitize all food and drink. Abraxodyne is not responsible for any sickness, paralyzation, blindness, or death that may result from unauthorized use.
Oh, Abraxodyne. These pre-war companies in the Fallout universe never fail to disappoint. So, next we need to collect rads. 200 rads to complete the quest, or 600 to complete the optional portion. Well, there are a number of ways to collect rads in the wasteland, but probably the quickest is to get naked and to drink water from the pool surrounding the nuclear bomb in the middle of town.
Feel his glow and be divided. There shall be no tears, no sorrows, no suffering. For in the division, we shall see our release from the pain and hardships of this world.
At last, we have 600 rads and we can go back to Moira to complete the quest.
Oh, feeling a bit under the weather? Or a bit over the Geiger counter?
Moira, this was a ridiculous request. You do realize that, right?
I realize a lot of things, but this isn't one of them because it's a real scientific necessity and not ridiculous at all. What I mean is, I need this research, and you're probably going to get irradiated out there anyway. So, why not come back here and help me too?
I am not comfortable getting this irradiated.
Not even for humanity? Not even for science?
I'm about as irradiated as I can get without burning a hole in the floor.
I can tell. You're positively glowing. Now, just hold on and try not to move. Tell me how it feels, and I'll get you fixed right up.
Too tired to be snide.
You're a lucky one, you know. At this level, most people don't make it. But then again, most people don't have my experimental tricks. Now, after taking a few notes, I'll take care of that nasty radiation with a bit of my own homemade concoction. I've never had the chance to test it out on someone so heavily dosed. Oh, but I'm sure it'll work out fine. Exciting, isn't it? Okay, a little Brahmin milk, a couple magnets, and maybe a few happy thoughts. Well, you're alive! Oh, that's the good news. But there was a little side effect. A teeny tiny, mutation. But it seems to be benign, at least. Here, take a few radiation chems as my little way of saying, I'm sorry I twisted your DNA like a kitten with a ball of yarn.
If we collect the 600 rads, we get the Rad Regeneration perk, which automatically regenerates our limbs while we're suffering from advanced radiation poisoning. To finish this chapter of the Wasteland Survival Guide, we need to do some research about some landmines.
Landmines are one of the few dangers out there that you can profit from. Disarm one before it blows, and you can sell it for plenty of caps. I've heard stories about a ghost town that's just full of mines. Traders just call the place Minefield. Sounds like the place for some field work. Get in there, get back, and tell me all about it. And could you bring back a mine for my studies?
This seems kind of unhealthy. How will you make it worth my while?
What better reward for avoiding explosives than to pay you with explosives? Frag grenades, in this case. I got a pretty good haul of them recently. And if you bring me back something to study, maybe I can make some modifications for you. Nothing like tinkering with a live mine, right?
What can you tell me about this minefield, Moira?
They say it was a town called Ridgefield, until slavers cleared it out. Now, it's supposedly cursed and just a death trap to visitors. Now, everyone calls the place Minefield and says it's a ghost town. Superstitious nonsense, of course. But that's how people think. You'll be fine.
All right, I'll head to the minefield. Wish me luck.
Oh, don't worry. No one ever goes there because they say it's a ghost town. And since ghosts don't exist, you can just focus on the landmines. I hear there's a playground in the middle of town. Reach that point and come back, and I'm sure you'll have some stories to tell.
Right, so we need to find this minefield and somehow deal with the ghost that's haunting it. The minefield is actually a bit of a walk away, and for a new character like mine that hasn't explored much of the map at all, it was quite a trek from Megaton all the way to the minefield. Along the way, we stumble upon a scrapyard. This is the very same scrapyard John talked about in his letter, the one we found on his corpse. Now, this scrapyard is actually the secret lair of Littlehorn and Associates. We find a note sending us to Littlehorn and Associates to get the contract killer perk. With this perk, we can cut off the ears of all good karma people that we kill, which we can return to Littlehorn and Associates for caps and evil karma. I have not found this note yet, and I haven't decided yet whether I want to play a good or evil person with this character yet, so we're gonna save Littlehorn and Associates for another day. But as we explore this scrapyard, we hear the sounds of battle. Rounding the corner, we see that raiders have already been dealt with by a dog. And not just any dog, none other than Dogmeat. Of course, with all of these dialogue options, Dogmeat simply responds, bark, bark. We can have him stay here, or we can encourage him to come with us. And with that, we get everyone's favorite canine companion, Dogmeat. But we came here to find that stash talked about on the note. The note said to look by the door to a bus. It's really tricky to find. It can help to turn on the local map. But eventually, if we look on the ground by the door to a bus, here in the scrapyard, we find John's treasure box. Inside the treasure box are magazines, Brognak the Barbarian, guns and bullets, and U.S. Army 30 handy flamethrower recipes. These will increase our melee, guns, and big gun skills by 2. But back to the job at hand, we need to find the minefield and deal with the ghost. Following the road north of the scrapyard, we see a town emerging in the distance. This very town is the minefield. As we get close, we see some of the mines and we can start to disarm them. But as we do, we hear the sounds of sniper fire. A sniper is shooting at us and the vehicles we pass by to cause them to explode to kill us. Now, some may think that this is a ghost, but with our Gauss rifle, we can look down the scope to see a sniper standing on a ruined structure shooting at us. This old man is Arkansas. He snipes at us with his gun, and if we get within melee range, he will lob grenades and bombs at us. We can kill him. On his body, we find a key that will open up the 3 houses in this minefield. But I don't know. I mean, yes, he did open fire on us, but he's just an old man trying to protect his home. I want to see if I can do this without killing him. I also want to keep him alive because Arkansas plays a pivotal role in the saga of Paradise Falls. So I'm going to reload a save that I made just before arriving at this minefield. I'm going to tell Dogmeat to wait here, and then I'm going to don my Chinese stealth armor that I got from the Operation Anchorage simulation. This is going to make me invisible to Arkansas. However, even while wearing it, Arkansas will still shoot at the vehicles I pass by. I I still need to keep my distance because if I don't, when they explode, I could die. Without the key on Arkansas's body, we have to use our lockpicking skill to unlock the doors to the 3 houses in the minefield. The first is the Benson house. And going upstairs, we see a dead raider with his legs hanging off the balcony. In the rooms, we find dead wastelanders. We find a copy of DC Journal of Internal Medicine on one of the desks, which permanently increases our medicine skill by 2. And we start to understand why Arkansas might be shooting at anyone who comes into the minefield. Continuing along, we can loot dozens of landmines. They litter the road, but also off the road. There is no safe place to walk in this town. The next house is the Gillian house. Here we have to kill some rad roaches, and we find human skeletons in the bathroom. Going upstairs, we have even more rad roaches to kill. We find toys in this child's room, and on the bed, a copy of Grognek the Barbarian, which increases our melee by 2, and more skeletons in the upstairs bathroom as well. These people were likely killed by raiders and then their corpses devoured by rad roaches. The last thing of note in this residence is an easy locked safe that we find under the bed. The final home here is the Gibson house. As soon as we enter, we see the dead body of the raider lying in the middle of the floor. On a shelf by the TV is an interesting container, is the model of a home, locked with a very hard lock. We'll need a skill of 100 or more to pick it. It's unlikely we'll have it, but just in case you do, inside we find 3 buff out, some potato crisps, and some pre-war money. A little bit disappointing, but an interesting container. On the table in the office, we find a copy of Tumblers Today, which permanently increases our lockpick skill by 2. And going upstairs, we find the bedrooms. The child that once lived here must have been a cripple. We find toys in his room, but also a medical brace on top of his bookshelf, near to some surgical tubing and crutches. In the master bedroom, we find the parents dead in the master bed, still in a loving embrace. They were likely killed while they slept by raiders. And the last thing of note in this home is an easy locked safe hidden behind the bookshelf. We don't learn much about Arkansas in the game itself, but the Fallout 3 survival guide gives us a little bit of his history. We saw the evidence of raiders in these houses, but we learned from the survival guide that these raiders were actually slavers. They came to this town and enslaved everyone who lived here, killing the people who resisted, while Arkansas was a young boy. Arkansas managed to hide from the slavers, only to emerge later to find his parents, his neighbors, missing or killed. Instead of leaving, he decided to fortify and defend this minefield. As a young boy, he began to spread rumors through the nearby communities of new inhabitants at this town who were ripe for the picking, just ready to be kidnapped by slavers and sold into slavery. But instead, he placed landmines all over the town and took up a sniper's roost. The slavers organized and attacked the town, but they couldn't survive his booby traps. They died by the dozens to landmines and sniper fire and never came back. Decades have gone by. Arkansas is now an old man, but still every day he goes to his sniper tower with his sniper weapon in hand and picks off any raider who comes to his town. The problem is Arkansas can't distinguish between raider and explorer, which of course is why he opens fire on you. We may have to deal with Arkansas in a future episode, but for now I'm going to leave this poor old man be. But we still have to make it to the playground. We can't pass the quest until we make it to the playground alive. Using my Chinese stealth armor, I snuck to the playground and ascended the slide in the middle of the playground to complete the quest. When done, I retrieved dog meat, and together he and I went back to Craterside Supply to tell the good news to Moira.
How are those hot little potatoes? Because, you know, they're on the ground, like potatoes, and hot because they, explode. Anyway, what's up?
I managed to get through the minefield alive, and I even brought you a present.
My very own landmine! Oh, just what I've always wanted. Well, always since I sent you out on this anyway. Now, tell me all about it. What was it like going through there? What's it like disarming a landmine?
Strangely enough, we don't have an intelligence option here. We can be snide or straight. Oh, it's really easy to disarm a landmine. You just jump up and down on it. You go first.
Think I'm an idiot? I may be a little impulsive, but not an idiot. I'll just take a look at this on my own then.
I'm just kidding. That whole town is a trap. There was a sniper out there just waiting for me.
Not quite as much of a ghost town as they say, is it? Good work staying calm and collected under pressure. It'll be a great example for the book. I know you may not want to see any more explosives for a while, but obviously you know your way around them. Have a couple rainy day toys of mine. And looking at this landmine, it gives me an idea. It's a terrible device that does terrible things, of course, but it's easy to make your own, too.
By completing this portion of the quest, we gain the bottle cap mine schematics. We can now make bottle cap mines at any workbench, as long as we have the parts. And with that, we complete Chapter 1 and can then start work on Chapter 2. In Chapter 2, we're going to make a mole rat repellent, study mirelurks, and a whole lot more, but I'm going to have to save that for another episode. I remember doing the Wasteland Survival Guide quest years ago, back when I first played Fallout 3. It's an extremely detailed and well-made quest, taking us to a lot of interesting places in the capital wasteland. I'm getting a big dose of nostalgia by replaying these events, and I hope you guys are too. Stay tuned for chapters 2 and 3 of the Wasteland Survival Guide, which is going to take us into more dangerous territory. I'm going to be doing a whole lot more Fallout 3 videos, ladies and gentlemen.
The second chapter is going to be a bit trickier, I think. It'll cover how to handle creatures out there, for better or worse. For example, repelling mole rats, learning about mirelurks, and when all else fails, how to handle being injured. So let's buckle down and get to work on this chapter. Mole rats can burrow into almost anything and cause a lot of trouble. So I figured I'd make a chemical repellent stick for people to shoo them off. But I need it to be tested before I put the recipe to paper in the guide. So I need you to find some mole rats and test it out a bit. Don't worry about the chemicals. I handle them all the time while experimenting, and I'm perfectly fine, aren't I? How about I let you have the leftover chems I used to make it? Heck, do a thorough job, and maybe I'll let you keep the repellent itself. It'll be easy. One tap with the applicator, and it overwhelms their senses with a sort of feel-bad sensation. Then they're gone before you know it. You could test it out on just a few mole ratties, but for real testing, try it on 10 or more. There should be plenty in the tepid sewers downtown.
So, we've got some sort of chemical repellent on a stick that gives mole rats a feel-bad sensation. Now remember, we want the best survival guide possible, so we need to fulfill even the optional portions of this quest. So we've got to test this chemical out on 10 mole rats. Now we can test this on any 10 mole rats. Moira suggested we go to the tepid sewers, but we don't really have to. The closest mole rats are going to be right behind Megaton itself. Heading around to the back of the town, sure enough, we find some mole rats there, and we can try out the chemical on a stick. Well, so much for the repellent part of this chemical, but we certainly gave them a feel-bad sensation. This character is not spec'd into melee, so I shouldn't be able to kill these guys in 2 hits. But the chemical on the stick does have some sort of effect. With only 2 whacks from this stick, I successfully murder these little mole rats. But we have only killed 2. To complete the quest, we need to kill 8 more. We might as well then do as Moira suggested and head on over to the tepid sewers. We find the entrance to the tepid sewers just south of the Anchorage War Memorial. With the repellent stick in hand, we can work our way down into the depths of the sewers. And almost as soon as we turn the corner, we meet our first batch of mole rats. 2 whacks with this repellent stick does the work. We complete the quest, but we haven't completed the optional portion. Let's continue exploring the tepid sewers to find more mole rats. Turning left at this junction, we see a path leading down and a doorway to the west. Going through the western doorway, we find 1 mole rat in a supply room. Once he is dispatched, we can loot the supply room. We find a first aid kit and some minor loot in some boxes. Heading back the way we came, we could turn left to go downstairs or go straight. Let's continue straight for now. This brings us downstairs into what looks like a supply room of some sort. Here we find a few lockers and some boxes to loot, but no enemies and nothing of note. So heading back the way we came, we have 1 path left. Turning down the north staircase, we find a terminal against the wall and a a raider walking in the distance. Oh great, this means the sewers are filled with raiders. So much for an easy experiment. After hacking the terminal, we find an option to deactivate the nearby turret system. Taking a look at the system information, we see that the raiders have already hacked into this turret infrastructure, creating a new user admin laden with expletives. Now that we don't have to worry about any turrets in these sewers, we can take out the raider walking down the hallway. Continuing down the hallway, we find a four-way junction. The right path is blocked with rubble. We'll turn left for now. Down this left path, we find another junction, but this end is blocked with rubble, and we find a terminal blocking the other side, and then the path just loops around, right back to where we were. We see a dead mole rat right next to the raider we just killed. Looks like the raiders invaded and have been killing the mole rats. I hope they left a few alive so that we have some to kill to complete our quest. Now we've found stairs leading to an upper level on either side. There's also a door against the northern wall. Let's first head through the northern door, and here we find more dead mole rats. This is a disheartening sight. Had these been alive, we could have completed the quest and gone back to Moira. Against the western wall is a door that leads down to a metro tunnel. This is likely the way out, but we're not done exploring yet, so let's head back the way we came. We can then go up the stairs to explore the levels above. Heading up the leftmost staircase, we find a door at the top, and at last, some more living mole rats. Once we bludgeon them to death with our repellent on a stick, we can explore this small machine room. We find a door against the southern wall. This brings us down a staircase back to that long hallway. So this upper portion connects to the lower portion in a big loop. This leaves only one path left. Back into the machine room, we can head out the rear door to the train tracks. Crouching down and peering around the corner, we see a raider standing behind some sand barricades. Pulling out our sniper rifle and executing this man, we learn that his name was Rock Salt. We don't find any more information about Rock Salt in this sewer. No terminals, no notes, nothing. But according to the Fallout 3 official strategy guide, Rock Salt is the leader of this band of raiders in the tepid sewers, and they live here hunting mole rats. They not only live off of mole rat meat, but they ferry the meat back to Cherry Street Metro Station, where some guy named Ryan Brigg buys all the meat that he can carry off of Rock Salt and his raider goons. We'll meet Ryan Brigg and his pet mole rat Pumpkin in a future video. But for now, we need to sidestep these frag mines that Rock Salt and his raider goons have placed all over the tracks. They are around every corner. It will take a sharp eye to spy each of these and disable them before we blow off a limb. We know that Rock Salt is responsible because behind his sandbag barricade, we find a big stack of frag mines, along with an ammunition box. We also find Rock Salt's key on his corpse. Let's keep an eye out for a container that we can unlock this key later. I just want to note that of all of the Raider Gang bosses out there, I have a slight, very small amount of respect for Rock Salt. Because most of these Raider bosses like to sit on their throne-taking jet, making all of their goons go out there to guard their fortifications. But not Rock Salt. Rock Salt comes down here and guards it himself. As despicable as he may be as a raider, I have to admire his hard work. But we can't admire Rock Salt for long because soon his raider goons attack. After this raider is dead, we can loot a first aid kit and a Vault-Tec lunchbox by another sandbag barricade, as well as a couple more ammo containers. Now, there are a few paths we can take. We'll start by exploring down the western path. Turning off our light and crouching down, we go down the hallway to find ourselves at another four-way junction. The path before us leads to the barracks. Here we can snipe off the raider. The right path is completely blocked off. Let's go down the left path. This leads us to what must have been a communications room for the raiders. Here we find a ham radio, which we can toggle on and off, and also some communications machinery, which is kicking up a terrible racket. Adjacent to this room is a machine room with what looks like a generator or a pump inside. Nothing of note here except for a copy of Dean's Electronics laying next to a toolbox. Heading back, we can go down the blocked passage only to find an opening to the right. This led to the bathrooms. So So it looks like in the capital wastelands, at least, the raiders have some sort of plumbing. Assuming these toilets work. I guess we have no evidence that they do. Back down the hallway, we can finally go and explore those barracks. Looks like that raider we killed from a distance was the only one here. Beneath his body against the western wall is a floor safe with randomized loot in it. And then we can go through and loot the myriad of footlockers we find at the foot of these beds and on the dressers. There's an assault rifle in one of the bookshelves, and it's a great place to take a nap if we need to heal on up. Back to the train tracks, we can go north to continue exploring. Here we find more frag mines, but Dogmeat is a complete idiot. Reminded me to leave him back at Vault 101. The end of this track is blocked by a train, and so we can turn east to go up a stairway and through an open door. And it's here we are attacked by more mole rats, which was all the mole rats we needed to complete the optional portion of Moira's quest. Now to weave our way out of the tepid sewers. Heading out the door in the back, we can go up some stairs, down a hallway to find more mole rats to kill. I was bored with them at this point, so I just used my Gauss rifle to destroy them. Here we find two ways forward. There's a door to the south, but it's completely blocked off with rubble. So I lied. There's only one way forward. Going through the eastern door, we can head up some stairs and round a corner to find more raiders. What exactly happened there? My stealth isn't that good. He should have been able to see me, but no, he was too preoccupied with dog paying me any attention. But man, I took way longer to kill that guy than I should have. Standing there at point blank range and I couldn't even hit him. Against the eastern wall, we find a locked terminal, which is used to unlock the nearby door, but we don't have to use this terminal because we found a key on Rock Salt's body. This is the Raider's supply closet, with all sorts of containers to loot. At the bottom of one of the shelves is a grenade box filled with grenades. In a personal locker, we find some chems, caps, and a power fist. A great way to get a power fist early on if you don't do Operation Anchorage. And we can walk away with an assortment of whiskey and chems. Heading out and down the western path, we can loot the raider. Continuing forward, we find ourselves in a large machine room with a few more mole rats inside, and we exit by going through an eastern hallway. Here we find two paths. We'll start by going down. This leads us to another machine room with more dead mole rats. Here we find a door on the southern wall, which leads us to a supply room. Here we can stock up on scrap metal and other junk. And in the western room, we find a bottle cap lying on a workbench. That must mean that up was the way out. So heading back out of this supply room, we can go up the northern staircase, which leads us to a ruined metro station. One of the nicest touches are all of these pre-war signs and posters hanging on the walls. Here's one advertising the local Museum of Technology, which we'll be able to explore. There's a sign advertising Radiation King radios and television. We see this sign even in Fallout 4. These signs are backlit, and even with my torch off, the glare was so bright it was hard to read them. The other sign I found was advertising a super duper mart. To exit, we leave out the northern gate. This brings us to Georgetown. As soon as we arrive, we get attacked by Talon Company. Doggone blasted Talon Company mercs. The mercs must have been in a firefight with some super mutants, because as soon as we kill the mercenaries, we have to destroy the nearby super mutants hiding in the ruined buildings. Once the insane firefight is over, we can, if we want, explore Georgetown, but this is such an interesting place that I believe it deserves its own video. so we'll save this for later. Heading back to Moira at Craterside Supply, we can tell her all about our experiment.
Oh, I can't wait to hear how the repellent's working.
Hey, how's the book coming?
Oh, I'm writing up the second chapter right now. It's called Thrive. It covers the various ways to get ahead and stay ahead of the various predators out there, and how to patch yourself up if you don't.
I'm not so sure about testing this stuff.
Oh, it's perfectly fine and made from organic ingredients. Well, it affects things, organs, that's close enough to being organic, right? Either way, it's perfectly safe. Heck, once it got into food for Jericho, and he never even knew.
Now, we discovered that this mole rat repellent does not actually repel the mole rats. Instead, it makes whatever weapon we attach it to much more deadly against them. Now, we can lie to her and say, hey, I tested it out and it worked just fine.
Excellent. Finally, mankind will have a way to shoo away those annoying pests without resorting to cruelty or violence. I'll just take that back for my final studies. Oh, but here, I've got lots of leftover chems from the testing. Maybe some of them are your style?
We lose karma here because remember, we're trying to create a survival guide that's going to help people navigate the wasteland. If we fill this guide with lies, it's going to lead to people dying. We also get worse rewards if we take the easy way out and lie to finish these quests early. So we'll not choose this option, and instead we'll go back and tell her that we tested the mole rat repellent extensively.
Oh, excellent. Substantial field testing, precise reports, and such dedication. What more could I ask for in a research assistant? So, how did my chemical repellent work? Safe and clean like a charm, I'll bet.
And it's here we have to break the news to Moira in one of three ways. There's the regular option, which leads to a standard book, the sly/sarcastic option, which leads to a sly book, or we can choose a response that reflects one of our higher special stats. Our choices here affect the final perk we get for completing all of these quests, which I covered in my first video on the topic. I'll show you the intelligence tree, which gives us a final perk that helps our medicine and science skills. We can respond by saying, it appears that mole rats have a most fatal allergy to it. Explosively so.
Those poor little mole ratties. Oh, I wonder if I could make a hypoallergenic version. Oh, but that'd hardly be effective. I should mention that. Proper handling of mole rats could be important if they could be domesticated. Milked, maybe? Oh, anyway, keep the repellent.
If we choose the sly option, we say, it's like explosive whack-a-mole rat. Can I get it in bullet form for people?
It's horrible. You're horrible. This thing is horrible. Everything's horrible. Oh. With that much testing, I guess it's beyond correction. Oh, go ahead and keep it. Maybe you can find a nicer use for it, but I doubt it.
Poor Moira. She just has such tender sensibilities. If we choose the normal response, we say, sorry, Moira, but your repellent is fatal to mole rats.
Oh, that's really a shame. Poor little mole ratties.
No matter how we respond, we receive our reward for finishing this first part, and we can move on to the rest of the second chapter.
There's a lot we don't know about mirelurks and how intelligent and dangerous they are. That definitely deserves research. I hesitate to ask, but I'll need to examine the effects of serious physical trauma. I wouldn't ask if I couldn't fix you up afterwards, of course. And that should be it for the second chapter. Which do you want to check out?
Well, let's start with the mirelurks. Moira, what's this about studying mirelurks?
Mirelurks are a big threat in some areas, and knowing more about them can help people learn to avoid or even outsmart them. So I picked up this observer device to study them in their natural habitat. I need you to hide one in one of the spawning pods in their lairs.
Sneaking into a mirelurk lair? The pay had better be worth it.
While you're working on that, I'll be following up on a lead I've got for a couple stealth boys. When you're done, they're yours. And who knows, maybe we'll learn something useful from the mirelurks.
So stealth boys after I complete the stealth operation where I would need them? Thanks, Moira, you're a gem.
That's great. I recommend the nest at the Anchorage War Memorial. I knew a trader who talked about the Mirelurks down there. Just go inside and find one of their spawning pods, probably down near the water. Put this observer inside and get out quietly. And be sure not to kill any Mirelurks inside their nest. If you do, it could ruin the validity of the study.
All right, Moira, sounds good. But I've been thinking about this guide. Can I ask you something?
Absolutely. I'll bet you haven't been thinking about the guide as much as I have.
Why do you really want to write this guide?
Well, it'll help humanity rebuild, right? I mean, who doesn't want to help humanity? Besides, it's bound to work out better than some of my other projects. I mean, with you helping and all, how could it go wrong?
What do you mean about your other projects? Have there been problems?
Well, a little before you first arrived, one of my experiments had a little accident. I mean, how could I have predicted the centaur would think my assistant smelled tasty? But nothing bad like that could happen with this book. It's a great plan, and it'll make up for everything else.
Well, it's a big undertaking, and we've got to make sure we do it right.
Oh, believe me, I know. I've been a bit careless with other projects, but this is important. This means something.
Anyway, we can respond here to pass a speech check to convince her not to write the guide. With this outcome, we end the quest. We can no longer make the Wasteland Survival Guide, and we get the Dream Crusher perk, which I explored in my first video on the topic. But we don't want to do that, so instead we'll say, okay, but it could be bad if the book is misleading. People could get hurt.
Oh, I hadn't really thought about it like that. I don't want anyone to get hurt. That's the last thing the guide should do. Well, we're just going to have to make sure it's accurate and useful and great then. You and me. Together, we can research and write a masterpiece.
I think you're right, Moira. Now let's get back to work on this book.
You got it, super research assistant. Hey, I should get you a costume or something.
But about the Mirelurks, I find this whole Mirelurk intelligence thing a bit hard to swallow.
There's only one way to know for sure. Just slip the observer into a spawning pod at the War Memorial. I'll take care of the rest.
This quest sends us to the Anchorage War Memorial, which is right next to the tepid sewers we just explored. And the optional part of this quest is to not kill any Mirelurks, which is a bit tricky. If you want to clear the Anchorage War Memorial and kill all the Mirelurks for the experience, I recommend that you clear the place while doing the mole rat portion of this quest at the tepid sewers. That way the Mirelurks are all dead before we get the quest to go to the memorial. Not only are we going to be able to sneak in easier with no Mirelurks alive, but we save a trip having to come back here after the quest is done to clear the memorial. At any rate, the inside of the War Memorial is sprawling. So sprawling that I already published a dedicated video to this War Memorial. If interested, you can find that video here. I spent a long time in the upper portions of the facility sneaking around trying to find some way to get down and plant this thing in one of those egg pods, and it's just too much hassle. The quick and smart way to go about this is to enter the memorial through the service entrance. Here, all we have to do is bypass an easy locked door. Once in the service entrance, we see a dead wastelander and some Mirelurks walking around the tunnels. With my Chinese stealth armor equipped and moving extremely slow to avoid detection, I was able to sneak past the Mirelurks and deposit the observer in one of their spawning balls. And that's it. Once done, we can leave the memorial and go back to Moira to tell her of our success.
So are they intelligent? Do they have a leader? Some sort of king or priests or some sort of scaly community center?
Moira, why do we even care if they're intelligent? They still try to kill me.
Okay, yes, they're jerks. But if they're intelligent, we can get them to stop and train them. Maybe we could even ride them. Oh, that'd be fun.
Oh, Moira, you're just a gem. Well, I slipped the observer in with the eggs, and they are none the wiser.
I'll bet most people would have just gone in there, guns blazing without half a thought. But Not you. You're the best research assistant ever. I've been getting a good signal, but what do you think about them from your first-hand observations of them?
Like with the other task, we have a number of ways to respond. We'll first pass the intelligence check to say they descended from local crabs. I'd call them Scylla serrata horrendus.
That's very scientific of you. Personally, I wasn't sure if they were crabs or if they came from some sort of brine shrimp, perhaps. Some of these observations about their armor and camouflage gave me an idea for reinforced, neutral-colored headgear. Here, consider it thanks for not interfering with them. Oh, speaking of which, take these, so you can continue to avoid them in the future.
She gives us 4 stealth boys and a shady hat. But let's explore the other speech options first. We can answer the sarcastic lie and say, they've got a little bubbling castle, and they spend all day circling it.
Really? Are you kidding me? No, really, are you? Huh? Guess I'll have to wait and see what I get from the observer.
Awkward silence.
Some of these observations about their armor and camouflage gave me an idea for reinforced, neutral-colored headgear.
And it continues on the same way from there. The final and standard response is to say they're definitely vicious and highly territorial.
Oh, that's unpleasant. But I guess it's no surprise. Practically everything out there can eat us. This bottom of the food chain thing really sucks.
Once done, we can move on to the final task to finish off Chapter 2 of the guide.
Great! I never get to study anyone who's severely injured. Not without them crying to be fixed right away or trying to bleed out and all that. But obviously, you can handle a lot of abuse. So if I'm ever going to find a good example of human anatomy and injury resistance, it'd be you. Next time you get badly injured, return here so I can examine you before I heal you up. I mean, you're going to get yourself hurt anyway, right?
What could possibly be worth breaking my bones over, Moira?
Did you know when bones break and re-heal, they grow back tougher? In a way, you'd be repaying yourself. Once I make sure you survive, of course. But in a more tangible way, I can give you a modified environmental suit of mine. How's that sound?
An environmental suit does sound interesting. All right. I guess I'll get hurt eventually. Might as well come here when I do.
Wow, what a great research assistant you are. I mean, really, that's dedication. Demonstrating how to withstand pain by getting injured? Wow. When you're ready, come back here with some serious injuries. Maybe a crippled limb or two, and I'll take notes and fix you up. I'll be waiting here with plenty of bandages for you, so don't worry. Just go get horribly injured. Oh, and be careful.
Be careful. Why not study injuries on yourself? If it'd help, I could shoot you in the gut.
Well, I could hardly be an impartial observer in that case, now could I? It'd ruin the validity of the entire experiment. Besides, you wouldn't shoot me now, would you? How about I just leave you alone for a bit?
How about you do, Moira? How about you do? You seriously want me to go out of my way to hurt myself for your book?
Oh, don't think of it as crippling yourself for me. Think of it as getting free treatment when you eventually end up getting yourself hurt.
Well, there's nothing for it. We've got to go get ourselves injured. We could do this the natural way and just play the game as we normally would and wait until we get injured. But I wanted to complete this quest as quickly as possible, so I stripped naked, went outside Megaton with a frag mine in hand, and laid it on the ground. But apparently, you can't trigger your own frag mines. Thankfully, it was about then that an ant showed up. Bingo! Crippled limb. Well, I completed the optional portion of the quest, but I still have to go and get my health below 50%. Have you ever tried to go and get yourself severely wounded around Megaton? It was during this experience when I realized exactly how peaceful the area around Megaton is. Aside from the mole rats behind the city, which we already killed, I walked and walked and walked, trying to find someone, anyone, to do damage to me. I walked all the way to downtown DC without finding any creatures, not even a soul, before I finally found some raiders in the ruins. I killed one and then just sat there until I fulfilled the requirements of the quest.
Die! Die! Die!
And there we go. Then I could put my armor back on and kill this doggone blasted raider. I was so injured that I was woozy, with a crippled limb and a crippled head. I fast traveled back to Megaton and I could barely see the world spawn around me. But I managed to drag my injured brain back to Moira so that she could help me.
Well, how do you feel?
Moira, this really hurts, you know.
Oh, I know it does, dear. It's for a good cause. Try not to squirm so much while I take notes. Now, how would you describe the pain you're feeling? Any advice for how to keep it from being overwhelming? And remember, this is for posterity.
Again, we get our 3 options. Passing the intelligence check, we can say, pain is an abstract. I stay focused on the definable things like survival.
That's a very enlightened attitude you've got. Shame it doesn't stop bullets, huh? Luckily, I'm here to patch you up. Now hold still and quit fidgeting. Ugh! How can you be walking around like this? Okay, I even stitched a little smiley face in you to keep up your spirits. It's kind of hard to see from your side, though. Here, take this environment suit of mine. It will help with medical tasks, and it should help prevent the effects of exposure, too.
We're rewarded with an environmental suit and some medex. But let's go back and see what those other 2 options were. We can choose the sarcastic option to say, my only solace is thinking about inflicting this pain on people like you.
Oh, well, aren't you a grouchy one today? What got you in such a bad mood? Oh, yeah, the massive physical trauma. Luckily, I'm here to patch you up. Now, hold still. Quit fidgeting.
Or we can choose the standard response and say, the adrenaline helps. So does the fear of death. There's a lot of both.
Ah, yes. That makes a lot of sense. And it does help when you're sewing up wounds and setting bones, too. That seems like it'd be tough to do alone. Luckily, I'm here to patch you up. Now, hold still and quit fidgeting.
Well, Moira, now that you're done poking and prodding my fragile body, I suppose this completes the 2nd chapter of your research, right?
Correct as always. And your feedback's really led to a very smartly written book. Maybe too smart for some folks, I worry. Of course, if the reader can't be bothered to understand something important as a book on how to stay alive, then what can we do, huh? And in case those readers blame you for their ignorance, here's your payment. 2 big boxes of ammo. Now, on to the next chapter.
We get some ammunition, and with that, we complete the 2nd chapter of Moira's Wasteland Survival Guide. But we'll save chapter 3 for another day. Instead, let's go over all the loot we got. First, we've got this environmental suit. This gives us plus 30 to radiation resistance and gives us plus 5 to the medicine skill. It looks like a big yellow hazmat suit. This is the same suit that we got in Fallout New Vegas while doing the quests inside Camp Searchlight. It's a great little item. The winterized T-51B power armor gives us 25 radiation resistance, so the environmental suit is 5 better than the power armor. Still, I don't know if I would ever take the time to swap out of my power armor to wear the environmental suit just for an additional 5 radiation resistance. But it does have that boost to medicine, so I'll keep it on hand just in case. The next item is the Shady Hat, which grants us plus 5 to sneak and gives us plus 1 perception. It's a nice little fedora that looks handsome, but it does go on your head. And I was curious, I've already got the Chinese stealth armor, which comes with a helmet. The Chinese stealth armor gives us plus 15 to sneak. So if they stacked, that would give us plus 20 to sneak, which is pretty doggone great. I tried on the stealth armor, and to my surprise, they did indeed stack. It looks funny, though. It looks like I'm wearing a wetsuit while wearing a fedora, which is ridiculous. Part of me thought that maybe I had a mod conflict installed that allowed me to wear both, but after doing some research, No, that's not true. The base vanilla game of Fallout 3 allows you to wear both the shady hat and the Chinese stealth armor simultaneously. It's not a mod conflict. It may have been unintentional, I'm not sure, but it is in the vanilla game. The other item of note is the repellent stick, which we got to keep after killing all of those mole rats. It's just a big honkin' stick with a bunch of neon green slime stuck to the end. The Fallout 3 survival guide says that it's a one-hit kill for all mole rats, but you saw from my experimentation here in this video that it actually takes me 2 hits from this stick to kill all mole rats. It has really low base damage, so this probably won't be staying in my inventory. It's more of a gimmick than anything useful. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes Chapter 2 of Moira Brown's Wasteland Survival Guide. But never fear, we've got many more chapters to go. While writing this guide, we will explore many interesting locations in Fallout 3, so if you want to make sure that you don't miss my videos on them, be sure to subscribe and to click that bell notification button. What are your thoughts on my Fallout 3 videos so far? Do you have any requests? Let me know what you would like me to produce content on in the description below. I read all of your comments, and I use your comments as inspiration for my future videos. I've got a t-shirt shop, folks. If you'd like to buy an Oxhorn or a Fallout-themed shirt, you can find a link to my shop in the description below. And if you like what I do and you want to support me in a more personal way, consider becoming one of my patrons on Patreon. Patreon subscribers gain access to a private channel on my Discord server, as well as a bunch of other cool Oxhorn perks. But more importantly, I'm just so glad you're here watching this video with me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early, with a brand new video. This is the dramatic conclusion to the Wasteland Survival Guide by Moira Brown. In the first episode, we irradiated ourselves for science. In the second episode, we beat mole rats in the face with a stick. And in this episode, we go back to Moira Brown to learn more about ancient and modern history. I'm back, Moira, and ready to go to work.
In the last stretch now. The last chapter is going to be called Revive. It's all about how we can rebuild society and humanity, learning how to use old tech, preserving knowledge, building communities, and so on. It's a little ambitious, yeah, but why aim low, right? The last chapter is a bit more esoteric. It's about the survival of humanity as a whole, and how to rebuild society. Deep stuff, huh? We need to know how large settlements are formed, how to harness the old technology, and I'll need you to get ancient history from a nearby library. We're in the last stretch now, so let's finish it up strong. What's first?
Using old technology sounds interesting.
It does, doesn't it? I mostly just deal with it after it's junked. But a trader gave me this Robco processor widget. He said it's worth a fortune. According to him, if it's connected to the mainframe in the Robco factory, you could have access to all the robots you'd ever want. Now that would be a great example of how to harness technology, wouldn't it?
What's it worth to ya?
Well, you'll be getting access to an army of robots. That ought to be reward enough, right? But if you insist, I could spare some pulse grenades.
Just go in, connect the widget to the mainframe? Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah, you should just be able to plug it into the mainframe at the Robco production facility. It'll give you access to the robots and terminals. Okay, here. And be sure to keep an eye peeled for any other examples of how to make old technology work for you out there. Of course, if you played around with the systems after that, we'd probably learn even more. But you can deal with that when you get there.
Hey, I've been thinking about your experiments. Can I ask you something personal?
Why, I'm flattered. What would you like to know?
Why are you always working on such weird ideas?
Well, look around at the world we live in. It may be okay to you, but I've read about what it used to be like, and this wasn't it. So we all need something that keeps us going, despite all the terrible things around us. For me, it's things like this book.
I don't understand. Crazy experiments are what keep you going?
No, it's like, did you you ever try to put a broken piece of glass back together? Even if the pieces fit, you can't make it whole again the way it was. But if you're clever, you can still use the pieces to make other useful things. Maybe even something wonderful, like a mosaic. Well, the world broke just like the glass, and everyone's trying to put it back together like it was. But it'll never come together the same way.
But why waste your talents on this garbage?
It's not garbage. But don't be fooled. It is junk. It's just junk that's pretty important stuff, you know? Junk can be turned into all sorts of useful things, and sometimes even something wonderful. And junk's all we've got left after the world blew up. Everyone's trying to fix it like it was, but nobody's trying to make something that's better.
So you're trying to make the world better than it was?
Hey, it sounds crazy when you say it that way, but that's what I'm aiming for. Yeah. The Wasteland Survival Guide isn't much toward that lofty goal, but it's an important one. And that's why I need your help. I don't think I can do it alone.
I don't know. Human nature doesn't just change like that.
Maybe. I've certainly heard people say that. But isn't it also human nature to try to do better than we always have? Please, I've got to at least try to make the world better. And I can't do it on my own. I need your help.
But why try with this book when you could be helping out in real ways?
What? Helping the trade caravans with idiotic chores? Repairing carts and fixing up sick Brahmin? There's got to be something more worthwhile that I can do to help humanity.
From here, we can convince her, even at this late stage, to completely abandon her book. But if we do, we miss out on the perk that we've been working so hard on. So instead, we'll continue forward with our experiments. Our next experiment brings us to the Robco production facility near Tenpenny Tower. Now, I had originally planned to do a video dedicated to this building, but after scouring every square inch of this place and reading every terminal, there is no lore. There is absolutely nothing here, which is shocking. This is supposed to be the headquarters of the Robco company here in the Capital Wastelands, and there's nothing here. In this building, we kill lots of protectrons, lots of ceiling-mounted turrets, and lots of rad roaches, but that's it. When we finally wind our way to the very top of the building, we find a mainframe terminal against the northern wall. We can use the processor widget that Moira gave us to reactivate the mainframe.
Hostile. Target identified.
The lights turn on, but the nearby Protectron in the charging dock reanimates. Quickly, we can dive back into the terminal and hack it to see what else we can do here. We find an orientation guide that describes each of these options, but I'll tell you what they do. The total liquidation feature is already active, so we can click Cease Total Liquidation to turn it off. This just turns every Protectron in the building hostile to us. The two other options are fairly self-explanatory. If we click Initiate Pest Extermination, then when we walk around the building, the Protectrons will be killing all of the rad roaches we found.